Having strong systems and processes and a clear way of communicating with them shows that you are a confident designer and you're an expert who is going to guide them through the process, even when it gets rocky. Hi, I'm Beth Episodes, the founder of More Time to Design and your host of the Design Dialogues podcast. I've been a designer for the last 12 years and I've run my own studio for 5. And I know how hard it is to run a successful business. You not only need to be great at designing, but you need to be great at all the other things as well. I created More Time to Design, a software platform to help designers run efficient studios, and I've created the Design Dialogue podcast to help us all learn together. Each week, we will meet professionals who are at the top of their game doing things that help us run our studios. We'll have conversations with social media managers, interior design mentors, copywriters, stylists, photographers, suppliers, and also designers who have been in the game for a long time and who have such a wealth of knowledge to share. I hope that each week you feel inspired and informed at the end of each of our design dialogues. So join me for the Design Dialogue podcast. Hi everyone, welcome to episode 39 of the Design Dialogues podcast, and this is one of my solo with Beth episodes. Before I get started on the episode, I wanted to have a chat about the format of the podcast. I've been playing around with it a little bit. You may have noticed different things slotted into the episodes and also the frequency of these solo episodes. I love hearing other business owners' stories. It is something I'm always drawn to and love hearing how people have built and grown their businesses. And I am a fan of so many podcasts where you hear how people have gotten to where they have. I just feel like you get so much insight out of it. When I started the design podcast, it was a really big thing that I wanted to share with everyone, an understanding of how interior designers built their businesses. But I also wanted to support interior designers to build better businesses. And so over the last few months, that part has kind of gotten a little bit out of whack. I'm really passionate about helping interior designers grow better businesses, and I want to share my knowledge that I have gained from my over 13 years in the industry, not only working in my own studio, but also working in larger design firms, about the processes and systems you need in your business and why it is so important that you have them in your business. I hope you enjoy the Solo with Beth episodes as much as you're enjoying the interview episodes, which I get so much lovely feedback on. If there's a part of a system or a process that you would love for me to talk about, whether it's time tracking or how to gain client approval easily and accurately, or how do you set up your workflow to fit in all the things that you need to do as a designer, really anything to do with running an interior design studio, I'd love to hear from you. Sometimes it's obvious to me as someone who lives and breathes systems and processes. It might not be obvious that I need to talk about it. So I would love to hear if that's part of your business that you are struggling with. Let me know, because if you're struggling with it, there's a good chance that someone else will be as well. Today, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about problematic clients. Now, you might be wondering how that relates to systems and processes. For those of you who don't know, I still do a few design projects for a couple of reasons. I like design, and I like to stay in touch with what's happening in the design community. And I also like to really be my best test dummy for More Time to Design. Anyway, about halfway through last year, a previous client who has become a lovely friend and was an absolute dream to work with referred to me, a good friend of theirs, to work on a renovation of their home. Now, these are the kind of referrals I love. From my experience, referrals that come from clients who were great to deal with usually turn into wonderful clients. So I went through my normal process with them and had an initial call with both the husband and wife. This is really important, which we can talk about in another episode, having both parties there, just to learn a bit about their project. And as we were talking more about the process, one of them used a term that really made me stop. I won't say the term because I find it quite confronting and aggressive, And that is saying a lot because I've heard some wild things on some building construction sites. At first, I wasn't going to take the client purely from this one comment. However, over a few weeks, I had a few more conversations with them, and the original client kept telling me how wonderful they would be to work with. The context for the comment was really around the client wanting to know who was responsible on site for when something went wrong. And what did we have in place to try and limit the possibility of things going wrong? They could have just worded it a lot better. Through these conversations, I realized this client really liked to know that all the T's were crossed and I's were dotted. Sometimes working out a bit of your future clients' personalities can really help you understand the why behind the questions they are asking. I decided to take on the client, knowing that they were like what they were like. I knew my systems and processes were strong and robust enough to mean that the project would run smoothly and the client would feel confident throughout. If my systems had not been as strong as they were, this project and client would have turned into a nightmare. The kind of project that just zaps you of all your hours and energy. This project is a renovation, and like most renovations, it hasn't gone as smoothly as you would hope. Some things have come up in demolition that we would have no way of working out beforehand, which has just had some impact on the project. There's also been delays with some of the building aspect of it. Some weather has come into it. It has just been one of those projects where nothing has really gone as smoothly as you would have hoped. Not through anyone's fault, just because. So combining this with the client's personalities, it could have been a disaster. However, it hasn't. And that is purely down to the strength of my systems and processes in my design studio. Having these processes has allowed us to manage the client through the hiccups with ease. The client has felt in control and knowledgeable the whole way through. The thing is, and we all know this as designers, when it comes to building, not every single thing goes to plan. And a big part of our job is to problem solve for the client. A client who is very particular or isn't confident in the renovation process because they might never have done it before. Having strong systems and processes and a clear way of communicating with them shows that you are a confident designer and you're an expert who is going to guide them through the process, even when it gets rocky. Of course, there are going to be some red flags that even the best systems and processes in the world are not going to be able to mitigate for. However, there are a lot that you can. Now, this example might not seem like the most biggest red flag, but it definitely is annoying. When a client messages you on a Sunday afternoon, we've all had this happen. They're out at the shops, they're at a barbecue talking to a friend who's had a cousin who's renovated, whatever it is, but they message you on Sunday afternoon. It's annoying. If you have a strong system and process in place, where when a new client signs on, an easy to read document is sent to them, which outlines things like your working hours. It will clearly outline what your working hours are and what your communication channels are and what they should expect from you in terms of communication and when they should expect it from you. This allows the client to know what they should expect from you and how they should expect it from you. You are laying down the playing field really for this project, allowing the client to have confidence in what you are doing. Another great red flag that you see so often is when clients are constantly changing their mind, or maybe not changing their mind, but just questioning things. You've gone through the process and you've selected all these items for them. And because I use more time to design in my studio, I can easily send them a web link to capture their approval. It is clear in this process that they are approving an item and we are moving on. The approval isn't in your emails, it's not on a random PDF. There is no grey around if a piece has been approved or not and where we're up to in the process. It means the clients are confident in your skills as an interior designer. You are looking more professional through the way you are offering your services. And this translates to the client feeling calm and confident in the process, which, when things go wrong, is exactly how you want the client to think of you, calm and confident. Is there a problematic client that you could work with better if you had improvements to your systems and processes? The thing is with these problematic clients is that they take up so much of your time. They usually are on the smaller jobs, and I can guarantee you are most probably not charging enough for the amount of time they are taking up. And I'm sure you never feel great at the end of these projects. What systems and processes in your business could you be doing better? What is going to allow you to be more efficient with your time, which ultimately means you are going to be more profitable in your business? And let's be honest, we all want to be more profitable in our businesses. As much as we love doing interior design, we also want to be building businesses which allow us to lead the kind of lives that we want. I know for myself, that is life flexibility, so I can spend time with my children and my family and also travel. I also have a grand plan of being able to play tennis, but I'm so far away from achieving that. But one day I'll get there. So have a think about your systems and processes and your problematic clients. Are there things that you could be doing a little bit better, which would make the process with these clients easier? Thank you for listening to this design dialogue. I hope you have found it full of inspiration and helpful information to take into your design studio. If you like the podcast and want to hear more, consider sharing it or writing a review, as it helps us reach more people, and follow us wherever you get your podcasts. If you would like to unlock the power of effortless studio management and elevate your design business to new heights, please follow the links in our show notes to see how more time to design can help you build a better business. Have a great week, and I will see you for our next Design Dialogue.